In the past 3 years, I've published dozens of books on Amazon KDP and generated 6 figures doing it. But here's the truth, the game is getting tougher every single year. If you're not evolving, you're falling behind. That's why in this video I'm going to reveal 3 strategies you can use to completely dominate your competition on Amazon KDP. These are the exact tactics that top authors use to outshine everyone else in their niche. Tactics your competitors probably don't even know about yet. By the end of this video, you'll have a complete blueprint to not just survive, but crush your competition on KDP this year. And if you're serious about turning your books into a business, this could change everything. Let's dive in. When I started this business, the first thing I did was think of an idea for a book that I thought could work, create it, and publish it. It took me some time to understand that this wasn't the best approach. Sure, it might work out, but it's not the most efficient way to earn in the long run. More importantly, there's a much better method to ensure you don't fail when deciding to publish books. The very first step you should take isn't creating a book. It's creating a brand. I know this might sound like something you've already heard, but I want to dive into the details and explain exactly what I mean. The advantage of having a book brand is huge because it allows you to connect the revenue from a book to the revenue from another. Simply put, if you create a series and someone who buys one of your books enjoys it, they are very likely to look for more of your similar or complementary works. In my view, there are 2 types of book brands you can create. The first is what I call a homogeneous brand, made up exclusively of one type of book. For example, a series of 3 high content books about marketing, a set of coloring books with a consistent style, or a series of workbooks for learning the grammar of different languages. The advantage of this kind of brand is that if a customer likes one book in the series, they're likely to buy others, increasing the overall customer lifetime value. The second type of brand, however, has an even bigger advantage in my opinion. I'm talking about a heterogeneous brand, made up of completely different types of books. To make it clearer, let's say we want to create a brand focused on helping students learn an effective study method to graduate without difficulties. The first book, which I consider the main one, could be a high-content book that explains the study method from start to finish. The second book could be a planner specifically designed to make it easier for the students to apply the concepts from the first book. The third book instead could be a notebook for taking notes or creating outlines designed specifically for this method, with pre-formatted pages or templates to complete. This is just an example, but I think it gets the point across. In this case, we have an additional huge advantage. Within the main book, we can guide the reader to feel like they absolutely need the other tools to make learning easier. If you think about it, this structure is perfect for continually increasing the customer lifetime value over time. After buying the main book, a person might buy a planner every year or purchase a new notebook every time they start a new subject, for example. I find this strategy brilliant, and along with the other 2 points I'll talk about in a bit, it allowed me to earn over $180,000 with just one series of 3 books. The next point I'm about to make might not sit well with a lot of people, because I've noticed a trend among YouTube gurus to claim it's unnecessary, something you can skip altogether. I honestly think they say this just to avoid scaring off people who don't want to put in the work to do things professionally. I'm talking about the importance of creating a website for your book brand. Before you click away from this video, let me reassure you, it's not impossible to do. There are tons of services out there that help you build a site without needing to code, or it's one of those tasks you can easily outsource. But why do I think having a website is such a game changer for someone selling selling books on Amazon KDP? It's simple. Think about your book's product page on Amazon. The only things you can really customize are the description and A+ content. But what if you wanted to include a video showcasing your book? Or maybe you just want to explain how to use the 3 books in your series together to encourage customers to buy them all. Unfortunately, there aren't many ways to do this unless you create a small, simple website. Having a website makes your self-publishing business look way more professional and increases the chances of selling your books. These days, you can even create a website with a custom domain using just a Canva premium subscription. Now, I recommend that option only if you're just testing the waters. But once you're convinced of how effective these strategies are, move on to a proper hosting service with an integrated builder. That way, you can maximize customization, add videos and other content, and keep your site running smoothly. If you are especially interested in this topic, I've created a free guide that explains exactly what you need to include on your book brand's website and how to make sure it converts as effectively as possible. You'll find it in the first link in the description. I highly recommend checking it out. The last point I want to talk about is, in my opinion, the most important of all, especially for beginners or those who haven't seen satisfying results from self-publishing yet. Of course, after discussing the creation of a website, we need to find a way to drive people to the site. So let's leave out anything related to organic sales or Amazon ads for now. What I want to talk about is how you're going to promote your books. The system that brings a person who's in your target audience to first become interested in your product, then visit your website to convince themselves that they need it, and finally go to Amazon to complete the purchase. I said system for a reason, because once again, I'm sorry for those who want to sell you the idea that it's all easy and immediate. But if you want to beat the competition and actually succeed in this business, you need to choose complexity. A marketing system that works and isn't too expensive needs to be carefully thought out, and all the possibilities available to you need to be considered. We absolutely cannot stop at simple Amazon ads, or for the few who go a bit further, Facebook ads. There are other amazing methods to promote your books for free. And now I'll explain the system I use. First of all, what I think is essential for anyone launching a new book brand that will by nature be unknown and without reviews is content marketing. This means creating content on social media platforms to showcase your books and convert your first customers. This is a fantastic method because it's completely free and you don't necessarily have to show your face to present your book. Plus, it greatly increases the chances that your reviews will be mostly positive, because by showing your books, the buyer will already know exactly what to expect from the purchase and will be less likely to be disappointed. Also, on platforms like TikTok, it's very easy to target the right audience, which is especially valuable because it's like having the opportunity to show your product for free to people who are already interested in the topic and therefore more likely to make a purchase. My favorite platforms for this are TikTok because, as I mentioned, it's easy to reach the right people and there's a good chance some of your videos could go viral, giving a huge boost in sales. Instagram for slowly building your brand, since once your Instagram page grows, it'll be easier to convert viewers, even through ads that lead to your profile. And last but not least, Pinterest. Pinterest is greatly underrated, but it has a huge advantage. When you upload a photo or a video as a pin, you can add a direct link to the product page, whether that's on your website or directly on Amazon. This means that if a pin gets a lot of views, people won't have to do any extra work to find the product or learn its price or other details. Of course, you don't have to do everything at once. My advice is to start with TikTok as it's the easiest platform to monetize quickly and test different types of videos or content. Then, if you have the time and energy, you can slowly integrate other platforms. The second fundamental part of my marketing system is email marketing. It's a tool that, along with what we've talked about so far, significantly increases customer lifetime value. Its function is simple. You create a free resource called a lead magnet, like a small PDF explaining a topic related to your book brand, and you offer it to potential buyers in exchange for their email address. You can provide a link to get this free resource either within your book to re-engage the customer or remind them to leave a review, or on social media to build a solid mail list made up of your target audience, which you can then convert for the first time. As you can see, my approach to self-publishing is much more similar to other classic online businesses, but in my experience, this method has allowed me to achieve extraordinary results without having to invest thousands of dollars in ads. If what I've explained today seems too complicated and you're just starting out and you want to understand better how book creation and promotion work, I have a 45-minute guide on my channel to help you start self-publishing with very little investment. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments. I'm happy to answer. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video.